What do you wish you could do really fast?
Don't say panels.
Well, I'll tell you what I would not want to do really fast that my character did fast. There was a scene where Iris and I were in bed and they were panning up our naked bodies and she says, "I can't believe it was over so quickly."
All right, you guys, please welcome to the stage our first guest. It's John Wesley Shipp. Keep that applause going for Danielle Panabaker. Mr. Tom Cavanaugh. Carlos Valdez. Candice Patton. We've got one extra seat. I mean, there's another guest, I guess. Can we guess who it is? It's the wonderful Grant Gustin. Guys, are you having a good time this weekend in Orlando? Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Love it.
Are you?
You know, you do quite a few of these panels and you speak about the characters in the show over and over again, but has your idea of your characters changed over time when you speak to fans and see those characters through their eyes?
Mine has.
What about you guys?
They were talking.
We were talking.
Has your
by the fact-
idea of your character changed
Yeah.
over the years, talking to fans and looking back on it?
Yeah, looking back.
Everybody
Listener.
wants to hear from you. Everybody, who do you want to hear from?
Everyone!
Not for me, I don't think. And I don't think it's changed so much. I mean, I kind of changed over the years while playing the character. But not really my idea of it. He changed over the years as you do as a human being and you evolve. But I don't think looking back, it hasn't really changed.
John, you have worked on this franchise for how many decades now?
35 years. As many years as Grant Gustin is alive.
That's true. That's true.
Because I remember seeing you when I was just a wee thing, and it's incredible that you're still working on it. When you got to do your first scenes with Grant, that must have been quite special. Did you guys talk about it before or after?
It was, for me, I can only speak for myself, but for me it was an immediate connection. And I knew when I saw him on Arrow do the backdoor, what served as a backdoor pilot, I knew this is a guy who totally is a truthful actor, works from his heart. I can't see the acting seams, and I couldn't wait to work with him. And I felt he knew I'd been the Flash. I knew what he was taking on. You know, we're both from Norfolk, Virginia. We were both born in January. He was born the year I was doing the Flash.
Wow, okay.
So I felt, and I'm not going to look over there because I'm not pressuring him, but I felt an immediate connection, and the father-son scenes will always be some of the most memorable in my career.
Yeah, no, me too. And yeah. We bonded over these weird connections we had on day one working together. And then they continue to add up. I recently was messaging John because I saw him make a post of like his old stomping grounds in New York. And it was like the first place you lived is what you were saying? Or second. Okay, the second place he ever lived in New York. And it was like the block that I just stayed on for 8 months while I was working in New York. And I'm like, dang, these are going to keep adding up. Like the universe has connected the two of us.
The year after I did The Flash, I went to Broadway to do Dancing at Lunasa. The year after he did The Flash, he went to do Water for Elephants. Yes. And when I was in line to go see his opening night, I looked across the street, and there was what used to be the Schoenfeld Theater, which is where Dancing at Lunasa was. So they do keep piling up these connections.
I've watched so many interviews and panels with you guys, sometimes online, sometimes I stand there when I'm doing FANEXPO events and I watch you guys. And I love the chemistry between you all, certainly on the show, on stage. Did you feel that all immediately when you started working with each other? Was it quite immediate for you guys? Well, that's
Candace,
the answer
Candace,
there.
go.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes and no. Like
and
I feel like
no.
chemistry like is kind of like built a little bit too. Like so like
I think there's a spark of it.
Yeah,
I think you know with
but-
someone like this could be easy.
yeah.
Easier than with someone else. I felt that way with you, where it was like, I don't know if we have a connection yet, but I feel
Yeah,
it's
it was easy,
to work.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, we could build from here.
But then,
And
like,
we did.
team chemistry is built, you know? So I feel like it was, over the years, evolved and became like a shorthand, you know?
And relationships change and evolve. I remember I was thinking about this the other day, Tom. We didn't really get to know each other for a whole season because we didn't work together. So
I was told not to talk to you. I was told to
By my
avoid.
agent?
Yeah, my agents were like, "Look, dude,
Don't look at her.
You're
look at her in
fortunate
the
to
eyes.
have this job, and these people are like strikingly great looking and smart and funny, and they're like up and coming, and you don't want to taint them."
Got it.
So yeah, that was a contractual thing.
I thought
And
it
then I
was
took
just
a
because we didn't
giant
work
pay
together.
cut to be able to talk to you guys in season 2, which was kind of a game changer.
Got it.
It was great to be able to talk to you guys.
Danielle, I wanted to ask you about directing. Like, is that something you always wanted to do, even before?
I love making film and television, and a big part of the reason I wanted to direct was watching this guy do it because he's so good at it.
Yeah. What did you learn?
See what she did? She just super deflected, right? She was asked a question about being a great female director, that great director on The Flash doing all these episodes. She's like, you know what? I'm going to compliment the guy to my right. That tells you a
he's
lot
that
about
good.
this person right here. She had a chance to grab the spotlight. She's like, you know what? I'm going to shine it on other people as well. There you go, Danielle Panabaker.
We do have some pre-selected fan questions, which I'm going to read out for you guys. They were chosen from fans online. But before I do, I wanted to ask you just a silly wee daft question.
How about daft? Isn't daft great?
Daft is a good word.
Right, just a silly wee daft question for you, Carlos. Why are you so handsome?
Well,
Huh?
The
Why are you so
mysteries-
handsome? Tell the crowd why you're so handsome.
there's some mysteries in the universe that
Aye.
those questions will never be answered.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you a wee daft question. What do you wish you could do really fast? Keep it clean. Or not.
Like,
Don't say panels.
it's so boring, but it's true. I have 2 like young kids right now, so like clean my house. I wish I could just like boom, so
I
my
agree.
house could just like be clean. Yeah, sorry, that's Candace's too.
It's for, like,
Because
when
it's
you have
impossible.
It's impossible. No one talks about this when you become a parent, but like your house is always filthy,
just
and you're
gonna
just
be messy.
constantly trying to make
Yeah.
it not.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Carlos? What do you wish you could do super fast?
Like everything, I'm like notoriously slow at virtually everything. Talking,
Kinda true.
like tying my shoes, entertaining Tom. It will take me a lifetime.
Are you doing it yet? Have you entertained? I'm not entertained yet.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not entertained. That was fast. It's very quick-witted for a slow guy.
Oh, well, what about you guys, John or Tom? Do you want to answer that one?
Well, I'll tell you what I would not want to do really fast that my character did fast in the 1990 pilot. There was a scene where Iris and I were in bed and they were panning up our naked bodies, and she says, "I can't believe it was over so quickly." And then you
CBS,
pan to
wow.
the television and you
CBS.
realize we're watching a boxing match and it was over in 3 rounds. But I would not choose that.
Let's get to these pre-selected fan questions, shall we? So this is from Liam H. from Tampa. Oh my God, I am turning into my mother. You've all experienced some pretty wild twists and turns in your storylines. What has been the most surprising moment for you, either as an actor or as a fan of the show?
I didn't know I was going to be Savitar.
I mean, I would say that, season 1, that Out of Time episode, it really,
good.
I think it took all of us by surprise that they just, went to those lengths so early. It's like, we're not even done with season 1 yet, And it's like, it feels
And you
like
were already out of a job for like a few pages.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was it. It was all over.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
At the end of season 2, I figured my tenure on the show was coming to an end as Henry Allen, and they forgot to give me any more information. And I went into the wardrobe department and I was trying on this brown, ripped up prison suit, and I thought, well, that's strange. Iron Heights is green. I'm already out of prison. Maybe I'm going back in. And then the costume designer said, of course, you'll be fitted for the iron mask separately. And I'm like, the what? She goes, you don't know? Oh my God, I didn't tell you. So then I'm sitting with Jesse and Grant in between takes, and they said, did you hear what you're gonna be doing next year? I said, yeah, I'm the man in the iron mask, go figure. They're like, yeah, that's all you know? They said, you're the real Jay Garrick. I said, you're kidding. And then I said, how did Teddy feel about that?
Thank you. Okay, this is from Jasper K from Fort Lauderdale. If your character had the chance to go on a road trip with one of the other Flash characters, who would they pick and where would they go?
All of the Wells in a clown car, basically.
All of the Wells, Cisco in the clown car. Well, where would
you go?
Yeah, I feel like Highway 128 through Utah. You know, like the Roadrunner.
Oh, great highway.
Thing. Yeah, right?
Excellent highway.
The Highway 128 in Utah, maybe all the Wells in a clown car with Cisco.
I'm driving.
I feel like
obviously.
now that I say that, I feel like that's a half-hour comedy show somewhere. You know?
guys would watch?
It gets canceled after 2 episodes and stuff, but
Obviously.
still. You know what?
They would.
You can direct it.
I might.
Would you watch that or no? So James Gunn, if you're listening.
James.
This is for Grant specifically from A&S from St. Petersburg. Grant, you've been running as Barry Allen for a while now. How do you keep the character, or how did you keep the character fresh and exciting after so many seasons?
I mean, did I?
It's like, did I?
Yeah. I don't.
did.
Yeah, I mean, it was never like a intentional, or I don't know, something I thought like, how do I keep this fresh and exciting? It was. I'm a very scene by scene type of actor, and like just try to, because every morning I woke up, I was like, well, you know, this is yet another scene I could mess up today. So I approached every scene with just trying to make it realistic, and I think ultimately looking back, that's the only reason I did any kind of decent job with the show was I took my work seriously, and like scene by scene, I was like, how do I make this believable? But I didn't really think of it in terms of like keeping it fresh and keeping it exciting, or yeah. It was just like trying not to suck was like my main goal.
Well, you didn't. You were great. Guys agree? Of course. Okay, this one's from Candace. Okay, Iris is such a strong and supportive character. How do you feel about the way she's evolved through the series? From Lucy F. from Sarasota.
Yeah, I'm really proud of how she evolved. And a lot of the feedback I get from fans at these cons is that they've enjoyed her character development. And I think even for me in the beginning, it was like, what are we doing? Like, I had trouble, like, rooting for her because it was so one note on the page. And I fought for it. I think the writers wanted it too. And it was just figuring out how we make her a part of the story with everybody else, a part of the team. And it took a while to figure out the best avenue for Iris, but by the time we finished the show, I was really happy with her agency. I feel like we got there. You know, she stood on her own outside of Barry, and she worked really well with him as well. So I was pleased with it.
Thank you, Candace.
Yeah.
This one's for Tom. Tom, you've played multiple versions of Wells. Which was your favorite and why? From Travis P. from Gainesville.
You know, Travis, I just want to say those seats are weird over there, right? Like you guys, I know, right? Everyone is staring at the screen, but we're over here. We don't love you any less. You're far right. Yeah, I mean, what are you looking at?
I don't think you have to hold it so close to your mouth.
You don't think I'm sorry.
He's been talking about this for a while. Grant's been wanting to say this.
This would be like, you're getting a little thing about, this would be backstage. They yell cut, Grant would be like, you don't have to hold it so close to your mouth. And then the rest of the day would be like, you don't have to hold it so close to your mouth. And it would be like a whole thing that we would do to the annoyance of John and Danielle and Lois, Candace, like just this stupid little bit. You have to hold it close to your mouth. For an entire, right? Am I right? It would just be super annoying.
1000%
Yeah,
correct.
it would be so annoying. What was the question? Oh, the best character.
Tom, what was your
I know, I got it.
favorite version of Wells? You got it? You got it, okay.
I did the show to be the Reverse Flash. You know, the Joker to his Batman and Lex Luthor to his Superman. And I loved doing with our stunt women and stunt men. I loved doing the stunts. And the Reverse Flash would have to do a number of stunts. And I found that super gratifying. And then creating all these other wells to annoy the rest of my castmates was an extra privilege built on top of that.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for your question,
There we
Travis.
got there. Okay, John, you've played some iconic characters. What's been the most rewarding part of portraying Jay Garrick and Henry Allen in the Flash universe? And that's from Carlos M. from Orlando.
Well, thank you, Carlos. You know, first of all, Henry Allen was a version of Henry Allen that was not my origin story. Jeff Johns blew up the Allen family, and Henry was wrongfully convicted of killing his wife in front of his 10-year-old son. I knew I wanted that role, whether I had never been the Flash or not. I think having been Barry helped me be a better Henry. Jay Garrick was a complete surprise. I've gotten to look at this franchise from so many different perspectives, from Barry, Zoom, Henry, Jay, and then Flash 90 returns, which I thought they were insane to do. But anyway, so just the variety and being able to look at the franchise from so many different sides. That's it.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. You guys, please, can you give one last huge round of applause to Grant, Candace,